Hi guys, it's Kevin here on the DynaMax line. I'm just going to take you into how to disconnect the gas train. So right now I pulled off the front covers and also the top cover. Now before we get started, make sure the power is off to the unit. You can unplug it from the wall and also make sure your gas is shut off. We got a bulb out here showing that it is off at this point. Now when you disconnect the gas train, first things first, you want to disconnect the flange here. There's 4 screws holding on the gas pipe to the gas valve, so you can just undo that. There's a screw that's on top of the gas valve right here that's holding the electrical connector on, so you want to disconnect that. There is an air line, like as a feedback for us when we light off. This is an air hose. You just have to pull that out. And again, there's another air hose for your block fluid switch. So you just pull the vinyl hose out. Just the vinyl hose is good enough. And further on, we do have an air intake here, where we have a vertical rubber adapter. So we unscrew that. 2 worm gears will get that off. Looking at ourselves to the front of the unit now. So once you got all that pulled off, make sure you support the burner, the blower, with what I have is usually like a piece of wood, for example. Slide the piece of wood in there like so, and that will support it from falling down, because it is the mixing tube that's holding everything up right now, which is this guy right here. But before we get to the mixing tube, we have to disconnect the igniter, the flame sensor, and I don't think you guys have a thermal switch, but if you do, just pull that out. Just pull the wires off first. So we'll do that right now. So we get rid of the ground connector, the igniter, and the flame rod. Now at this point you want to remove the flame sensor and the igniter, which are held on by a couple Torx 20 screws. So 2 for the flame sensor and then 2 for the igniter. Once you pop the flame sensor out, it'll look somewhat similar to this guy right here. So with the single rod, there is a graphite gasket on it, which we will be supplying you guys. Okay, so that's your flame sensor. Further on back, once you remove the igniter, you'll have an igniter as well. Again, 2 rods here, graphite gasket installed. Okay, so once you do that, your igniters are all out. You're going to come in here to disconnect the mixing tube, which are 5 Torx 25 screws. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5. Once you do that, the whole assembly, your whole gas train, blower, gas valve, everything up here is free and clear. So this will just swing out. Once you disconnect that, you can pull the whole gas train forward towards yourself and out the front of the cabinet. Once you do that, you can then pull out the burner. Once you pull the burner out, you're left with just an aluminum flange disconnect. So what you can do is there's a couple nuts here, 6 of them actually. That's a close-up of 2 of them around the perimeter of the flange. Once you disconnect the flange, it'll look something like this in your hand. You've got a refractory piece on the back side. Okay. At that point, you're free and clear. That is the whole disconnection process. And the next video will show you how to reconnect everything back together. Okay. Thanks, guys. Peace.